tonight in Global News. And Marco Jr. The top stories tonight in Y News. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. secures 14.9 billion pesos worth of Japanese investment pledges in the sideline of the ASEAN-Japan Commemorative Summit.
The House assures the public that the 2024 national budget allocates funds dedicated to the robust defense of the West Philippine Sea.
President Marcos made an announcement regarding the extension of provisional authority for unconsolidated public utility jeeps.
And Israel discovers a large Hamas tunnel running from Gaza right to the border and wider underground passage network.
End of the world. Today is Monday, December 18, 2023. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. I am Bianca Quijano.
We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Marvi Delphine.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. held a meeting with Japanese investors in the sideline of the ASEAN-Japan Commemorative Summit. He reported the outcome of his meeting and said that there are pledges investment from Japanese businessmen. Nelmarie Bahok reports.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has attended the roundtable meeting with business leaders in Japan in the sidelines of ASEAN-Japan Commemorative Summit. During the meeting, 9 agreements were signed that focus on areas of mutual cooperation such as energy infrastructure and manufacturing. President Marcos promised to continue reforms to ease doing business and cut bureaucratic processes in the government.
These reforms complemented by streamlined business registration and recovery and tax
line business enterprise registration and the corporate recovery and tax incentives for enterprises or CREATE Act have positioned the Philippines as one of Asia's fastest growing economies.
Of 14.5 billion pesos in pledges of investment from Japanese businessmen that could generate thousands of jobs for Filipinos.
By 9 companies, but to the value of 14 billion pesos. But some of these are extensions of already existing contracts. Mag-expand lang sila ng operation nila. But the more important part is 200+ thousand new jobs.
According to the president, those investments cover a wide range of areas from semiconductors, healthcare to infrastructure and agriculture, noting the presence of Japanese companies in infrastructure development is very high profile. Nelmarie Bahok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Philippines and Japan have agreed to immediately finalize the discussion on the planned Reciprocal Access Agreement, or RAA, stressing that the Philippines will continue to talk with other like-minded nations to resolve the issue in the South China Sea. Nelmarie Bahok explains why.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida want the Reciprocal Access Agreement or RAA done as soon as possible. In a media interview on Monday, December 18, President Marcos said that he and Prime Minister Kishida were in agreement on allowing the armed forces of Tokyo and Manila to enter each other's territory legally.
I think both the Prime Minister and I agree ASAP. Lahat ito is as soon as possible. Yesterday, if not sooner.
Such discussions, he said, become a very important part of these trips, saying that he approached other leaders during formal discussions to talk about security issues in the West Philippine Sea.
This is one of the products of that. We also have the same kind of negotiations or discussions with many other countries. So we'll continue to do that para maraming tumutulong sa atin sa problema ang hinaharap natin sa South China Sea.
The RAA is expected to greatly boost maritime cooperation between the two countries. The proposed RAA will facilitate procedures and set guidelines when Philippine forces visit Japan for training and joint exercises and vice versa. Formal negotiations on the RAA were held in Tokyo on November 29 to 30 of this year. The Philippine delegation was headed by the Department of National Defense, accompanied by negotiating teams from the Department of Foreign Affairs and Department of Justice. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
House Speaker Martin Romualdez has stated that the proposed 2024 national budget includes funds to boost defense of the West Philippine Sea. Meanwhile, the leader of the House of Representatives has also revealed that President Bongbong Marcos Jr. will sign the 2024 national budget on Wednesday, December 20th. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
House Speaker Martin Romualdez has assured the public that the 2024 national budget includes funds for the robust defense of the West Philippine Sea. This assurance comes amid the challenges the Philippines is facing regarding the continuous aggression of China.
And the President has recommended as much as possible to minimize CIFC, the civilian departments or agencies, and other focus where it's best suited with some of the security issues, defense, and the Coast Guard, activities.
The Philippine Coast Guard or PCG will receive a higher budget next year. When asked about the possibility of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. vetoing any provision of the proposed national budget, the Speaker expressed confidence that there will be none. This assurance extends to the deletion of the confidential fund allocation for certain civilian agencies.
We're not anticipating any. Sumusunod lang naman kami sa mga parameters. And we've been working closely naman with the OP and all the departments.
Helping si Pangulo with deletion of confidential funds from civilian agencies.
I think so because both houses agreed upon it. In fact, the heads of the departments agreed to it naman. They voluntarily do it.
Due to the controversy surrounding confidential funds, Vice President Sara Duterte has dropped her request for secret funds for 2024. Meanwhile, Speaker Romualdez also revealed that the President will sign the proposed 2024 national budget into law on Wednesday, December 20. Rosalie Cos, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Jimmy Pachoco, one of the two Filipinos captured by the Hamas militant group during its attack on Israel, has returned home to the Philippines. After several years of working in Israel, he has been reunited with his wife and children. His mother, Aling Felicita, expressed tears of joy upon seeing and embracing her son again. The Department of Migrant Workers and Overseas Workers Welfare Administration has extended assistance to Jimmy, and they have committed to continuing their support, including livelihood assistance.
Meron ng paunang assistance na nabigay, but of course, upon his return, we will mobilize further our resources in terms of pangkabuhayan. Ito ang isang pinoint out ni Pangulo nung nagpulong kami. Yung pangmatagalang tulong, pangkabuhayan at empleyo para sa pamilya ni Jimmy. Si Mrs. Clarice Pacheco, tutulungan din po natin, and most of all, isa pang na-point out ni Pangulo, yung mga bata.
OWA can promise, ang tulong sa pamilya, sinimulan na natin na iproseso ang scholarships ng mga bata. Also, complementing the assistance to be given by the government of Israel. And specifically, minention ni Clarice na gusto niyang magkaroon ng negosyo. Nag-agree naman si Jimmy na ang gusto niyo pwesto sa palengke. And so, pupuntahan natin si Mayor Nelson Romilio na para kayo ay tulungan na makakuha niyan.
Noting that the government of Israel had previously stated that Jimmy could receive a lifetime monthly pension. Despite the challenges and bad experiences during his time in Israel, Jimmy has plans to return and work there again, motivated by securing a better future for his children.
As a victim of terror, he is entitled of getting all the support like any other Israeli who is a victim of terror. And talking to Jimmy, I know that he already got also psychological support and assistance in Israel, and the Israeli government has been with him since the moment he was out of Gaza in the hospital.
Kasi ganun po naman dapat ang mga magulang. Tsaka ayaw ko pong mga nasa nila yung paghihirap ko simula bata hanggang ngayon na naghihirap pa rin. Ayaw kong pang-anas po sa kanila kaya babalik po. Kahit sinasabi nilang may lifetime pension po, ayaw ko pong umasa doon kasi mas maganda pa rin na sabayan ko po yun. Kung magkatotoo man yun, better po.
Tropical cyclone Kabayan has weakened into a low-pressure area after making landfall in Manay, Davao Oriental earlier today. Although downgraded, the weather system continues to impact most parts of Mindanao. As of 3 p.m., the Philippine Weather Bureau, PAG-ASA, has announced that the low-pressure area was located in the vicinity of Cabanglasan, Bukidnon. While it has weakened, the LPA and the shoreline are expected to bring scattered rain and showers and thunderstorms to Visayas, Mindanao, Mimaropa, Bicol Region, Quezon, and Aurora. Additionally, are anticipated in Cagayan Valley and the Cordillera Administrative Region. Isolated light rains are expected over Metro Manila and the rest of Luzon. Residents in the affected areas are advised to stay vigilant and take necessary precautions as the weather system continues to influence the region.
The transport group Manibela is urging President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to make an announcement regarding the extension of the provisional authority for unconsolidated public utility jeeps. Failing this, they have declared their intention to continue their strike until December 29. JP Nunez details why.
The transport group Manibela commenced their longest transport strike of the year early morning today, December 18. According to its national president Mar Valbuena, they will continue the 2-week strike if the government will not make any pronouncement that it will extend the provisional authority or the franchises of the unconsolidated traditional jeepneys. He believes that thousands of PUJ drivers will lose their livelihood come after the December 31 deadline of the franchise consolidation.
Bawiin ng Pangulo yung kanyang pronouncement na yung pag-expire sa aming mga prangkisa at sa aming mga provisional authority, ma-extend po ito. Kung ayaw nyo na sa konsolidasyon, tinatapos nyo na, welcome po sa amin ito.
In addition to this, they plan to bring their grief to the Supreme Court by filing temporary restraining order opposing the Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program. To Department of Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista, the TRO is welcome to the department.
Karapatan nila yan, no? Tingnan natin, hintayin namin yung kanilang gagawing move.
Meanwhile, to some PUJ drivers, the rehabilitated jeepneys are better than the modernized units or the minibus. Drivers of the rehabilitated jeepneys stated that the materials used on their units are more rigid than the minibuses. It is also cheaper to rehabilitate that will only cost less than 1 million pesos than to procure modernized units amounting to more than 2 million pesos per unit.
Dapat ang sa atin sana, kung ano yung kinagisnan natin o iconic o traditional natin, dapat ganun din dapat ang ipapalit sa atin. Kung sakali sana i-required nila na engine na lang ang papalitan, mas pabor sa amin yun. Yun yung abot kaya ng mga individual na operator.
Isang maganda pong ma-rehab po ang mga jeep. Matutulungan po ang kapwa nating Pilipino. Marami po tayong magagaling na mga latero para maging maayos po at matibay ang ating mga jeep.
During the strike, Manibela shown 3 rehabilitated jeepneys with high ceiling and doors placed on the side which they believe to be qualified to the Philippine national standard. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And for the news abroad, Israel discovers a large Hamas tunnel running from Gaza right to the border and wider underground passage network. Mayiv Yandog will tell us why.
The tunnel discovered is unusually large. Made from concrete and a structure girded by iron, it is said to be used by Hamas, designed to transport Gaza fighters to the border underground. Since the attack of Hamas gunmen back in October, one of the goals of Israel's offensive was to target and disable the hundreds of kilometers of underground passages and bunkers used by Hamas. Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari, the chief military spokesperson for Israel, stated that the tunnel was 4 kilometers long, the biggest in Gaza, with millions of dollars invested into it. The tunnel networks are stated to be low and narrow, designed for gunmen to move on foot in single files. With shafts that go down, it suggests there is a larger and wider network. Meanwhile, the passages have been a difficulty for Israeli engineers, fearing that hostages may be trapped in the networks, as a result, had delayed the offensive. Mavian Dog, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Department of Health has just released a report indicating a staggering 50% increase in COVID-19 cases this week. Despite the gravity of this surge, the Metro Manila Council has stated that the wearing of face masks within Metro Manila remains to be optional. Gladys Tuwabi details why.
The Department of Health has just reported a significant increase, recording 2,725 new cases of COVID-19 from December 12 to December 18. This marks a striking 50% surge compared to the previous week, where the daily average stood at 389 cases. However, despite this notable uptick, the Department of Health has described the increase as minimal, reassuring the public that there is nothing to worry about. Interestingly, the agency has not found reasons yet to reinstate the mandatory wearing of face masks. Instead, they emphasize the importance of self-risk assessment in the ongoing battle against COVID-19.
I think what I will emphasize sa public is hindi vaccine ang solusyon. We learned the solution. It's minimum public health standards. Kung ikaw high risk, ay ba't ka pupunta sa risky behavior? Ba't ka pupunta sa ospital at walang mask, di ba? Hindi mo gagawin yan. Kung ano ang mga risks mo, yun ang bantayan mo. And each person, iba-iba ang kanyang risk.
The Metro Manila Council continues to advocate for the voluntary wearing of face masks. San Juan City Mayor Francisco Zamora, who also serves as the president of the Metro Manila Council, highlighted the council's commitment to effective measures against the virus.
Sa ngayon, wala pa ho tayong face mask mandate. So kung ano po yung existing policy, which is wearing a face mask is voluntary, ayun naman po ang ating pinapatupad sa ngayon.
Zamora added that continuous meetings are underway to coordinate and ensure alignment with the guidance provided by the Department of Health. Gladys Tuwabi, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Department of the Interior and Local Government, DILG, is advocating for a total ban on firecrackers in the Philippines. Secretary Benher Abalos emphasizes that local government units, or LGUs, should pass resolutions banning firecrackers in their respective areas. He encourages LGUs to consider opting for pyrotechnic displays in their city halls as a safer alternative to the traditional use of firecrackers. In an ambush interview, Secretary Abalos highlighted that some LGUs have already taken the initiative to impose a total ban on firecrackers, designating specific areas for controlled fireworks displays. He encourages all cities and municipalities to follow suit and pass ordinances that prioritize the safety and well-being of their communities.
Nananawagan ako na sana ang mga local government units magpasa kamukha ng ginawa ng Davao at ng Quezon City, ng Metro Manila, ng firecracker ban, no? Ibig sabihin yung mga pumuputok kasi nakita naman natin yung mga daliri na puputol, etc. Iban na natin totally yon. Taon-taon na lang ilang bata na puputulan ng mga daliri, di ba? Iwasan na natin to totally.
This move aligns with the ongoing efforts to minimize the risk of injuries and accidents associated with the use of fireworks.
In a concerning report released by the World Health Organization, road accidents have been identified as the leading cause of death among children and young people worldwide. Responding to this alarming statistic, the National Coalition for Child Road Traffic Injury Prevention, or NCCRTIP, approved child road safety in the Memorandum of Understanding this morning in Quezon City. This significant MOU was signed by various agencies, including the Department of Transportation, or DOTR, Department of Health, Department of Public Works and Highways, or DPWH, Council for the Welfare of Children, or CWC, and the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, or MMDA. The agreement aims to enhance the protection and safety of children on the roads.
So kaya tayo nagpulong today para magkaroon tayo ng koalisyon ng mga ahensya ng gobyerno na hindi lang sa magpapatupad ng mga batas ng road safety, pero talagang magtutulong-tulong para siguraduhin na ang ating mga kalsada ay ligtas para sa ating mga kabataan.
Department of Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista emphasized the importance of educating youth on how to avoid the dangers children face on the road. As part of their programs, the DOTR plans to invite road safety advocates, stakeholders, and agencies to participate in educational initiatives aimed at reducing road accidents.
We need siguro to improve the system, no? So we'll work with DPWH on how we can further improve yung pedestrian and mga bike lanes natin.
According to Secretary Bautista, the current road accident statistics are stark, with at least 1,670 Filipino young people losing their lives every year due to road accidents, as reported by the Philippine Statistics Authority.
The Overseas Workers Welfare Administration, or OWA, and the Department of Migrant Workers have launched a special event called Holiday Salubong to welcome overseas Filipino workers who have returned to the country. This program aims to acknowledge the significant contributions made by OFWs to the nation's economy. The Holiday Salubong will be held daily until the end of December, where OWA and DMW officials will welcome returning OFWs and present them with gifts as tokens of appreciation for their hard work and dedication. In a separate event, 33 distressed OFWs from Riyadh, including 17 children, were warmly welcomed by representatives from DMW, OWA, and the Department of Foreign Affairs, or DFA. As part of the assistance program, distressed OFWs received 55,000 pesos in cash aid, while those with children were provided with 60,000 pesos to support their immediate needs.
Saya-saya po. Siyempre, nakikita ng mga pamilya namin, yung mga anak namin, at saka nakikita namin yung pamilya namin dito na kami sa Pilipinas po.
Nagpapasalamat po ako sa inyong lahat dahil po narito po kayo para magbigay ng regalo sa aming mga OFW. Lalong-lalo na po yung mga umuwi na walang pera. Magkasama na po yung pamilya nila. Maraming salamat po sa lahat sa ngayon po.
In a notable departure from their traditional role in judicial processes, the Supreme Court has demonstrated a commitment to public service. Earlier today, the highest court in the land took an unprecedented step by leading an outreach program at the new Bilibid Prison Medium Security Compound. Dante Amento tells us why.
Supreme Court Associate Justice Midas Marquez led an outreach program at New Bilibid Prison or NBP, Medium Security Compound, Monday, December 18. This was after SC Chief Justice Alexander Gasmundo and other justices visited NBP last October to check the situation of persons deprived of liberty or PDLs incarcerated at the National Penitentiary.
Napansin ko na tuwing may mga bumibisita, talagang nasisiyahan yung mga PDLs, kasi marami sa kanila hindi na binibisita ng kanilang mga kamag-anak eh.
The SC with their basketball team, the judiciary magis turned over sports items, medical supplies, hygiene kits among others to the PDLs.
Yung basketball team naman ng Supreme Court, talagang every year, every Christmas season, talagang gumagawa ng outreach program yon. So ngayon, minabuti natin dito natin gawin sa National Bilibid Prison.
The Judiciary Magis team also had an exhibition game with some PDLs to show them the relevance of sports and make them feel that they are still part of the society.
More than sports, I think dapat mapakita na huwag silang mawalan ng pag-asa na sa lalong madaling panahon lalaya din sila.
Napaka-importante talaga sa kanila. Mas na tumataas ang moral nila. At alam naman natin na hindi naman sila habang buhay rito.
Meanwhile, Justice Marquez revealed that currently there are efforts being taken by the court to allow convicted PDLs to post bail and use other mechanisms to give them liberty.
Yung pagbababa ng bail, yung sa recognizance, yung mga hindi na kailangan magbayad ng bail, yung recognizance na lang na tinatawag, yung ibig sabihin merong isang respectable individual na magagaranti na hindi tatakbo to, hindi mawawala to.
Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
And in other global news, the United Nations, South Korea and other governing bodies have jointly condemned North Korea's latest act of aggression. Details are still emerging, but initial reports suggest that the international community is expressing deep concern and disapproval over North Korea's actions. Bianca Quijano will tell us why.
Tensions in East Asia escalate as North Korea fires a short-range ballistic missile and issues a threatening statement in response to recent military actions led by the United States. Reports from South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff confirm that North Korea has launched a short-range ballistic missile towards the sea off its east coast, traveling approximately 570 kilometers before plunging into the ocean. This provocative action has raised alarm in the region. The launch comes amid warnings from Seoul and Tokyo that North Korea was preparing to fire a missile, possibly one of its longest-range intercontinental ballistic missiles. All of North Korea's ballistic missile activities are banned by United Nations Security Council resolutions, yet Pyongyang maintains that they are within their sovereign rights to self-defense. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff condemned the launch, stating that it violates the UN resolutions that prohibit ballistic missile technology and scientific cooperation. In a statement released by North Korean state media, an unnamed ministry spokesperson criticized the arrival of the U.S. nuclear-powered submarine Missouri in the South Korean port city of Busan, calling it a provocation. The statement also included a threat stating the armed forces of the DPRK will thoroughly neutralize the U.S. and its vassal forces' attempt to ignite a nuclear war and thus reliably ensure peace and security in the Korean Peninsula. The United States Indo-Pacific Command has responded to the missile launch, stating, "While we have assessed that this event does not pose an immediate threat to U.S. personnel or territory, or to our allies, the missile launch highlights the destabilizing impact of the DPRK's illicit weapons program. The U.S. commitment to defense of the Republic of Korea and Japan remains."
Bianca Quijano, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Chilean voters rejected a conservative constitution on Sunday, highlighting deep divisions and the failure to address demands for change from 4 years ago. Maven Carrizo tells us why.
On Sunday, 17th of December, Chileans voted against adopting a new conservative constitution to replace the current one established during the Augusto Pinochet dictatorship. With 99.65% of votes counted, 55.76% of Chileans rejected the new constitution, marking the second consecutive rejection in 2 years. The push for the change emerged after the widespread protests against inequality in 2019. President Gabriel Boric, in a televised speech, noted the polarization and division within the country, stating that the outcome revealed the failure to fulfill hopes for a collectively written new constitution. He affirmed that his government wouldn't seek a third rewrite and would instead focus on pension and tax reform through legislative avenues. The initial assembly, led by the left-wing forces, concentrated on social, indigenous, environmental, and gender rights. Despite this, it was widely rejected by voters in September. The subsequent assembly, influenced by conservative parties, produced a more market-friendly draft, emphasizing private property rights and introducing stringent regulations on immigration and abortion. After years of polarization and political conflicts, a significant number of Chileans expressed mistrust and disenchantment with the process. Some voters bemoaned the country's political polarization, finding it impossible to reach consensus on a new constitution. Maven Carrizo, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I am Joanna Ochoa. Good evening.
In the ongoing UNTV Cup Season 10 eliminations, yesterday marked the end of the winning streak for both the Ombudsman Graftbusters and the DENR Warriors. On a brighter note, the AFP Cavaliers continue to thrive in the competition, securing their third victory. JP Nunez reports.
The AFP Cavaliers secured a crucial victory against the DFA emissaries, keeping their campaign alive in UNTV Cup Season 10. The AFP bid farewell to the DFA in an exciting ball game that concluded with a final score of 98-74. Leading the charge for the Cavaliers was Edgar Castro Jr., scoring an impressive 24 points, grabbing 5 rebounds, and dishing out 4 assists.
Doon sa practice namin, palagi lang naman i-emphasize ni coach doong mga sistema na masusunod namin. So nakikita nyo naman yung personnel ng AP Cavaliers is kulang-kulang. Doon, nag-a-adjust kami. Hopefully, next mga game, maipanalo namin at makapasok doon sa second round.
With this triumph, the AFP now boasts a 3-2 win-loss record, while the DFA emissaries bid farewell to the league.
Although kahit wala pang panalo yung DFA, hindi pa rin kami naging kumpiyansa, no? So pinagandaan pa rin namin sila, so respect namin sa kanila kasi bilog yung bola. So anytime, no, baka pwede silang pumutok. So katulad nga kanina, yung first tsaka second quarter namin struggle yung team sa defense. So nakakadikit sila. So kinausap na lang yung team na irespeto nila yung kalaban. No? So kaya yung third at tsaka fourth quarter, talagang gumanda na yung depensa nila.
Actually, ang totoo niyan, hindi kami nakapag-practice before the game. Kasi halos lahat ng players busy na sa pamilya, sa opisina. So, hindi talaga kami nakapag-practice. Pero kahit yung ngayon nga talagang pinilit lang namin na kung sino po pwede na itabi muna yung mga personal na talagang pinilit namin na pumunta. So, eto, kahit paano naman, nakapag naman kami, binigay naman namin yung best namin sa laro.
In another matchup, the Malacanang Team OPPMS Trailblazers halted the winning streak of the Ombudsman Graftbusters. Despite trailing by 3 points in the first quarter, the Trailblazers adjusted their defense in the second quarter, taking the lead by 4 points with a score of 42-38. Maintaining their momentum, the OPPMS Trailblazers increased their advantage to 6 points in the third quarter, finishing with a score of 61-55. In the final quarter, Robert John Mari Faundo stepped up with 14 points, including 2 3-pointers, making it challenging for the Ombudsman to catch up. The game concluded with a score of 91-84. RJ Faundo with an outstanding performance of 28 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals earned the title of the best player of the game.
Nung last game pa kami nape-pressure kasi once na matalo kami, bakasyon na talaga, next season na ulit kami makapaglaro. Kaya ngayon nanalo kami, sarap ng feeling.
This victory propelled the Malacanang team to the 4th spot from the 6th position, maintaining their chance to advance to the next round.
Bali, sinabi ko lang doon sa mga players namin na extra effort lang, tapos sumunod lang doon sa sistema namin, mananalo kami. Ayun nga, sumunod sila lahat, nakinig sila lahat, yung effort na sobra 110% binigay nila. Nakuha namin yung parang. Malaking tulong yung paghahanda namin kasi pinagplanuhan talaga namin lahat. Simula doon kay Ladja, kay Ignacio, lahat ng player nila talagang pinag-aralan namin kung paano namin sila makukontain. Hindi naman namin sila mai-stop pero mabawasan lang yung pasa, mabawasan lang yung shoot. Ang laking bagay na.
Meanwhile, the Department of Agriculture Food Masters handed the DENR Warriors their first defeat in a heated battle. Julius Kasaysayan led the Food Masters in the first quarter, putting them ahead 22-20. Despite a closely contested match, the Food Masters maintained a 1-point lead at halftime, 40-39. The game remained tightly contested in the third quarter, with the Food Masters holding on to a slim lead of 61-60. In the final quarter, a 17-0 run by the Food Masters, along with the dominance in rebounds, assists, and steals, secured a 90-73 victory. Eli John de Guzman with an outstanding performance of 32 points, including 13 points in the fourth quarter, 5 boards, and 3 steals, was named the best player of the game.
Sobrang saya, nagbunga lahat ng namin, mga pinaghirapan namin sa practice. And yun na-execute namin yung game plan namin. Sarap sa pakiramdam, lalo na last game namin this 2023. Preparation namin for second round.
With this win, the Department of Agriculture claimed the top spot in Group B, while the DENR dropped to second place.
From Monday, Wednesday, sa Saturday, mostly po yung defensive scheme lang ginawa namin. Yung mga rotation namin sa double scheme namin, lalo kay Rivera. So, mahaba-habang preparasyon. So, alam naman namin through video, nakita namin paano sila umatake. So, ginawa lang namin, kina-counter lang din namin. Kasi sa opensa, walang problema sa amin eh. Talagang kung tatakbo kami, transition offense namin, okay na okay kami.
Siguro it boils down to preparation namin, hindi kami masyado nakapag-prepare, and then yung the other team is well coached sila, and then talagang nag-prepare sila for us. So I congratulate DA for doing a great job against us. Surprised din kami. But sabi ko lang naman sa mga players, just one loss, and kailangan namin bumawi next game.
JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Our kasangbahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament, there is still no precaution and we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
And before we close, we will leave you with the word giving glory to God. From the book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 7, it says, Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God, and everyone that loveth is born of God and knoweth God. And those are the reasons behind the news December 18, 2023. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. I am Marvi Delfin, live from Australia.
Because we need to know, and we will always ask why. I am Bianca Quijano, live from Toronto, Canada. We serve the people, we give glory to God.